I really wanted to save a life that day. Stories and chronicles of the operating room and hospital. I was an intern year. It was my first year of training. I was about 3 or 4 months in. I was covering general surgery. As an anesthesiology resident, you gotta learn how to be comfortable before the operation, during the operation, after the operation, and manage any problems in that peri-operative period. So they called a code blue overhead and I was on the surgery floors. Now's my chance to save a life. I started walking over the code blue and I saw one of my chief residents and a surgical attending walking in the opposite direction. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Well, I guess I'm on my own on this one. So I get to the patient room and this patient is just somnolent, not responding, very drowsy. And the nurse looks at me and she was like, doctor, what do you want to do? And my brain, all I saw was question marks and dots. Now, at this point of your career, you're learning. You're trying to figure things out. And part of that requires you to be a team player. I stood there, which felt like an eternity. And the nurse looked at me and she was like, this patient just had an operation and they haven't been very responsive. So I told the nurse, I was like, oh, could it be that they got a bunch of pain meds and they're still very sleepy? She's like, yeah, it might be. What do you want to do, doctor? So in my brain, all I saw was question marks and fill in the blank phrases that were all blank. So she looked at me and she was like, do you want to give Narcan? Which is a drug that reverses pain medications. So I was like, yeah, let's give some Narcan. And the nurse was like, how much do you want to give? And again, drawing a bunch of blanks. I looked at her, baffled and bewildered. And I was like, how much do you have? She's like, I have 0.4. I was like, what are you waiting for? Give 0.4. The nurse gave 0.4 of Narcan. Patient woke right up. Now, the reason why I bring this up is it's very important to have a collegial environment at the hospital. And you need to put your ego at the door because every day you're learning something. I don't care how much experience you have. And shout out to all the nurses and all the doctors that drop pearls of wisdom on all the trainees.